Hello and welcome. Right, I have got to go down the store because Adam has said that, yeah, and it is true. I remember in Elm Creek actually. Obviously, being British, our road structure is completely different to the American road structure, as you can obviously imagine. Driving on the opposite sides of the road, although I've got to be honest, there is a story to tell. On Riverview Farm, which is an English map, which is my home country. I was driving on the right hand side of the road because I'd been on that many American maps that it sort of like felt like home. But it is true. I remember on Elm Creek. Now this is quite a complicated road structure. Now to me it's clearly a 2-lane thing. I'm going on the right hand side, so is that car there. Likewise, now is that stop sign telling me to stop, or because it's pointing my way and yet there's no line until I go in here? Now, likewise, these are a double road structure, so to me it's just a set of single things, which went, but then, am I wrong? That's what I mean, I frequently am, so yeah, what I'm trying to say is, so if this is the down, that means that's got to be the up, but when I looked, there were some cars that were going the opposite way, which to me suggests I was right, and this is, but to me this is a single, but I know what Adam means. If this was a carriageway where everything goes up, then you'd still need to get into the back of the store, which I know you could still do it, couldn't you? Yeah, thinking about it, you'd have to come this way. So, but I did definitely see, if we just hang on a second and check, there were also cars going the other way, which then that makes no sense. Yeah, because I nearly got attacked a few times coming this way, but then we got cars coming the opposite way, which they're not now. But we definitely did have. Even I didn't imagine it. It's definitely on the channel. But yeah, if I'm coming the wrong way. Now in Britain, you see, we would have a no entry sign. It'd literally like have a you know, one way. You're not allowed in here. Like, you know, back off and don't be stupid. Whereas in America, it might be a completely different set of rules. And obviously, you're programmed really by the rules that you live by. So why have I got done me lights instead of me? And that obviously would mean that all of us would be going this way down. Which, does that mean we could go down this? I think so. I think this would be a two-way. I think. Again, I'm a bit confused by the fact that... So far, we haven't seen anybody coming this way towards me, even though I have seen that. I think. I hate situations like this where you're thinking, did I really? Well, it does awfully look like. So really then, it may be me that was the usurper and actually was going the wrong way. So what you're supposed to do there is probably go around the block. We may as well grab this while we're here as well. We could grab one of these. If we grab the stone picker, then take one of them. Yeah, it's damaged. And so really what we should do... Well, actually, no, you could still go that way, but you'd have to go the other way, wouldn't you, really? It's, yeah, I just had to come and have a look at this, but I think Adam is right and that I am wrong, which is quite frequently the case, that I am wrong. Definitely. So, yes, I haven't seen a single car go the wrong way, so perhaps it was me that was going the wrong way, which does sort of make a little bit of sense. Stop. I did, well, sort of stop, not exactly. Right, so let's take this back. Obviously, of course, I'm stalling for time because I'm not really stalling for time now. Ooh, okay, and let's go up this one more way. One last chance for things to come the wrong way, and then I'm going to say that Adam was definitely 100% correct, and that I am 100%, as frequently is the case, completely and utterly wrong. Which is frequently the case. I don't stand on ceremony. And I certainly do, yeah, definitely get it wrong quite frequently. It does look like it. Yeah, there's nothing going that way. I've not seen anything go up now. So perhaps it was always me completely. Right, okay then. We'll take that one on the chin. That one's 1 to Adam, 0 to me. No, it's not. It really is. I just had to have a look though, because in my mind, I was right, whereas I really was wrong. Definitely 100%. So the little outer roads are definitely like two-way. We've seen traffic go both ways, but like those middle two are like sort of like huge motorway type things that, yeah, you like don't. It's not quite like that. All right, let's take this in, and we shall see how our spray is actually doing. That beautiful spray that we got 40. I think we upgraded it to a 40, and we could have spent an absolute fortune on upgrading it even more. We have got the field scanner, although I don't know why I bothered. It would have tagged. Just try. There was a field on Attingham Park that was field 1. It was a beast, and it was a monster. It really was. Now then, we're at 65,999. We did buy that beautiful big thing. Let's have a look. How are we doing? What sort of scale are we getting to on the weeds? Oh my life. A lot still to do. The workers do tend to faff around a little bit, if I'm honest. Yeah, but do we have any work to do? No, yeah, actually, that's not a bad place to start. Yeah, were there? I was going to look for the cows then. We haven't got any. Not yet, anyway. So we have corn. Oh, that's right. Why have we got corn? I thought, but we were doing 3 lots of flour. That's why we were being quite sensible. I quite like what we've done. So, well, look at the beans and that going up there, the peas and the spinach. We can tell that this is really not right now. I don't know. I didn't. I meant to before I came in, knock these down to 30. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to go out right now and I'm going to knock these down. So I'm going to be right back because I am right. I allowed a little bit of leeway really, but I'd like to see, because this is a perfect opportunity to see, because we're going to sleep through and see exactly how much in one night we actually get, but just looking at those and seeing how much we get like going through. So it'd be interesting. I think if we knock that down to about 30 odd, I think we'll be about there for a standard small one. I'd say I'm going to do a bionic as well, but this one is literally going to be that's what I was thinking about this earlier. This really would be the bionic then, which means in a way if I change this one to what I'm saying, then I've got to make another one. It would be perfect. I think what we're going to do is we'll keep this as it is for now, and this will become the bionic because it's too good to be a standard. But if I muck around with it now, it is true what I'm trying to say. If I make a normal and I call it something else, the game knows that I haven't got that one. It knows that I've got this one, and so therefore I will have the bionic no matter what I do. So in some ways I'm best really just to leave things as they are just for this Let's Play, make a change, and I'll make the normal, which will become the standard enhanced, as I call them, because obviously it's slightly better than the Giants would be, although this is unique, so therefore there is no comparison. But yeah, I know what I'm trying to say. The standard bits where you'd get like a ton, about 3/4 of a ton a day would be the Little Giants ones. I aim for about on the oils I aim for a ton and a quarter, 1,250 litres, but I still think that was a little bit ungenerous really. I think maybe 2,500 litres per month I think is about reasonable, all things considered, and then 5 tonnes for a bionic and 10 tonnes for a super, I'm thinking. So this is probably even maybe a super. So yeah, we shall see, but I'm not going to muck around with it for now. I'll tell you what we're going to do. No, I think let's just check. What have we got to put in here? Now, honey, we've got 3 odd tons over there, so let's grab that. I did start work on a triple one of these fork yesterday. This morning it was, but it was one of those things I started. I've done it quite a few times. Sometimes you've not got the oomph to like follow through on it with a project, and you just like start it, and I've done that, which means I've done the blender work, and then I need to like do the Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, then I've got to do the creating the mod work, which is a completely different thing. I also did a little bit. I'm trying to get the potatoes working on my harvester, because although it says it shows a picture of potatoes, it doesn't work with potatoes. It's completely not right. Even though I've tried to look at the potatoes, the Grimmy, and actually make it to work, it does not work. Even though I've like followed the functions, something's not quite right about it. I looked at the Venter, which was the closest thing to what I've got, and it obviously defoliates, and it's got a built-in cutter per se. But I don't know whether it's still classed as a... Well, it is an integral cutter, and that's what sort of gave me hope, that obviously mine would be classed as an integral cutter, and I've classed it as the same kind of harvester as the one that's the Quattro that came in. I looked at how Luca had what he'd called his harvester, and I chose the same title myself because I know that he's got the functions that I would need to do that, which obviously yeah, I needed to do the same myself, so I did. But it still doesn't like the potato. Now obviously Luca went for one. Oh no, it's still got a built-in header, so yeah, really something's not quite right on it. But it might be because it started off as the Amity, so therefore the game might know it. I don't know. It's usually functions, but things don't always work out as you sort of think that they will. Now then, eggs. How are we doing for eggs? 482. I think we'll grab those lot over here as well. Yeah, so yeah, it really is awful stuff, this. As soon as you hear a patch of the horrible stuff, it really we're not doing badly on the eggs, and obviously the chickens, I really do wish that I might actually I'm thinking about making a pen for these, but I still need to look at another mod with is there one with a chicken pen? I mean, because basically that is the chicken pen, obviously what we've got there. But I had these running around outside an awful lot, and they were coming out a long way. And then I tried to make it a bit more, and they just stopped going out. So then, of course, I thought, well, okay, I perhaps went too far, and I tweaked it back in again, and they still only just marginally come outside the chicken house. I just don't know, because it was working absolutely fine, and now it's not. So it's a bit of a strange one. So I've got plenty of flour. How much of this have we got? And yeah, really, we're not waiting, are we, for... So we've got one set of that. Oh, nearly 3 sets of that. And nearly 3 sets. So we've got 2, 2, and 1. Oh, hang on. Why? That says 11,000, so that should be 2. And perhaps one is outside. So let's get this done. Let us get this... Let's grab the fence and stick that on, and we will literally... Now, what is the price at? Because I think it's always going to be on white right until the back end, when it obviously goes up again. So I think it is what it is, basically. Yeah, the price is good all of the time, but obviously if you're close to the back end, it would make sense really to actually grab them then and sell them, because you're going to make an awful lot more. I think did I show you the pallet blockery thing now? It does oh, actually we can do it. I think I did. I'm not sure 100%. So I've got rid of the collisions now. Ooh. Yeah, as in like it doesn't attack everything. Ooh, he says as he attacks something. Yeah, obviously it is solid, so it can push things, but now I used to wallop things to the left, and you can see it quite plainly only wallops things to the left if you like hit it with it. So there's no weird collisions now, yeah, that like attack things like that, but obviously you can wallop things normally. So this is my very, very cheap pusher, but obviously we don't really need it anymore, thanks to Braven. So, yeah, it was a bit of an effort that's got foiled in a way, really. My little pusher, after all that hard work, and Braven's made it absolutely fantastic. So I'm not complaining. I'm very, very pleased that Braven's done what he's done. And I've got to be honest, it is a real beautiful piece of work. The lure the lure coding is something I'm going to have a look into myself, because I'm not being asked. Obviously, it is my job to muck around with all of the kinds of scripting that really the lure engine's based upon. So, and there is a lure sheet as well that Giants provide if you're modding. So I sort of thought there was nothing out there, but then I looked on the GDN earlier. Sorry, Giants Developer Network. Yeah, let's just not sort of blind people with acronyms. I used to work for Dell Computers, and they were like the acronym kings of everything. They were terrors, they really were. Yeah, they'd got this is the honest truth. They have a website, an internal website with acronyms, because they are that much into their acronyms, and obviously even their own people get confused about the acronyms because they use too many. So I think they all go to the crib sheet, which is this website, this web page on the internal network. It might not be like that anymore, but it certainly was when I was working for Dell, which was quite a few years ago now. Typical big company. Didn't look after the people. It's all about the bottom line. It is true, actually. Yeah, it's one I couldn't wait to get out of Dell Computers, because I was a Tupid across to Dell, and a casualty of Tupy. It doesn't always protect. Often protects the big companies that take over the little Tupy workers, because you're tied into a Tupy contract, which means they've got to stick to those terms and conditions. But I basically got tied in. I was a really good technician, and that's not being braggy, it's just being truthful. There were some quite poor technicians that were paid £12,000 more than me, which was pretty much my wages at that point. And basically Dell would never put my wages up, even though they'd take on a new engineer at 25 grand, and that was worse than me. But they knew that they'd got me because the Tupy said they didn't need to actually do any more. So yeah, another one of those cases of big corporations and red tape. And like, there's always a casualty somewhere, and it happened to be me. Not just me, there were a few of us actually who got Tupied across on our original wages, and obviously new terms and conditions. I'd say that is it. So that's 6, which is 30,000 litres, which is quite a lot, really. I do love the fact you can get 3 abreast on this. It's fantastic. Huh? Oh no, I did fasten it and then unfasten it. That was all me. So let's get these done. 10,000 litres of each. It is true we could do the vegetables, but I think we will. I think we'll just stick to doing what we're doing in here. It's a really good little earner. As we can see, the field across certainly points to that fact. And we've also bought quite a lot of equipment, thanks to mainly this business. Yeah, if it was down to the generator, we wouldn't have done quite that well. Not that I expect, obviously, for that to be the case, but I'm really, really chuffed that all my life. That is amazing, it really is. Now then, what are we doing? Because I think I'm gonna have to take over if it's faffing around. Now that's not updated. If we do that trick of doing this, it will update. Wow, I'm not done badly, actually, I've got to be honest. Whoa, he's a beast of a... Wow, I think we'll leave it. Oh, is this course blade? No, it's not. I was going to say I didn't think we'd... It's the lines, but these lines are for the last job the GTA did, which look like the... Wow, look at that, what it's used. And this is a big field. I've got to be honest, I'm well impressed with that. But it is true, this is the next set I'm going to release for the ModHubb, and I've got to rack my brains to make it. If these are this big, which they are, and you can see that's not really out of character, if it is, we're going to need to get some sort of pass-through weight, or... I don't know how I'm going to figure it out. A weight at the back of that. And I don't know how the game would actually cope with me doing that, with the physics of that. I don't mean it can't be a proper weight that is a weight, because you couldn't do that. But what I mean is, I don't know if I can put something in there like that. And I know you can tweak the amounts, the real weight of things. As I said, because I've seen Lambo do it, and I can refer back to his video. until obviously there are certain things as a modder I'm still learning an awful lot. I've done certain ones and I know quite a lot of placeables. Of all things, I would say I know the most about, but that's not, I'm not getting braggy, because there's things that I've looked up from other modders. Yeah, Biggins especially. Biggins taught me the most, which I openly acknowledge the fact that right, we're going to take over. Yeah, let's get this done. Yeah, Biggins definitely taught me the most, because looking at the multigrain production and only looking, it did teach me an awful lot on what I needed to do. I mean, again, I did know some of it because JM Gaming obviously is a friend, and I did have a look at his bioplastics, but that's more loose than obviously Biggins was very similar to what I needed to have a look at, so I looked at the way he did it, even though, as I said, I really did know most of what he did, but I'm still not trying to backtrack, and I suppose I'm trying to say thank you. I'm trying to say thank you, Biggins. That's what I'm really trying to say, yeah. I watched an interesting video this morning, at dinner time actually, by Farm Sim Briscoe. Very impassioned. You can tell, obviously, again, another victim of these horrible mod ripper offerers. I did think, because I admitted when I first started, I cut a few corners, but I have got to be honest, you are allowed to do what I did, but I still... It's one thing I still feel personally that although you're allowed to... I remember seeing a video by a modder, well, actually not a modder, it was a content creator, but he knew how to mod a little. And he said that, and he basically grabbed a mod out and sort of made it. And you're allowed to do that. I could go into my mod folder and I could literally tweak any mod, and I'm allowed to do that. What I'm not allowed to do is I'm not allowed to grab Biggins' work, any bit of Biggins' work, and then stick it... I'm using Biggins as an example because obviously, yeah, any modder. I'm not allowed to go and grab Mantra's lightweight and then stick it as my own and like as if like I did it all. Ooh. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I'm not. And I did grab a couple of things that other modders had done at the beginning, and I stuck the models onto my things. I literally did. I didn't think anything off of it, but I thought, hang on a minute. If you're gonna publish mods, you're not allowed to do that. If you was gonna like keep it for yourself, then yeah, by all means. But you're not intending to not. You're intending. You've said that to the channel members all along, that you're intending to actually do modding and release them to the ModHubb. So I thought, this is where I draw the line. Leave it now. If you wish to copy someone's, as in like if you want to make a model, which I did do, I looked at Mantra's lightweight because the telehandler weight was bugging me for weeks and weeks, and I thought I'll download the FS25, the lightweight, and I'm going to see how did Mantra do it. So I looked, again, massive thanks to Mantra, and I looked at his model and I made one myself. I grabbed a pin off one of the giants. Let's not do it again, let's like this time. Yeah, I grabbed a pin off one of the giants' weights, and I did that kind of pin. And with the other things, oh wow, struggling. Yeah, well, it was struggling before, really. Yeah, we did know that. That's what I say. It really could do with a pass-through weight at the back. Oh wow, still done it. Still done it. Yeah, so it was that I really thought at that point that I needed to like do something different. Wow, that it's actually must be losing weight from the back. Yeah, the herbicide's getting to the point where the weight in the front is too heavy for the back. So yeah, anyway, I will finish because it is important, and I don't want to like oh, that tree is gorgeous. Yeah, so I that was when I sort of drew the line and thought, I don't want to do that. I don't want to muddy the line. If I've got to stand amongst my peers, I don't want any kind of skullduggery. I don't want any kind of dishonesty, because I absolutely abhor any kind of dishonesty like that, and I certainly abhor any kind of theft. And I thought, although technically it's not, as in like it's something that you're allowed to do technically, right? I'm going to like fill this up because yeah, that's I thought I still don't like it. So I think I just could have got away with but then I suppose that I wouldn't have tested the tank on this. I do think the capacity is about right. It is really 3 or 4 of the standard tank at least. Right, let's just drop that for now though. It really is. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought there was no weight in this. So I'm going to really need to try and equalize the weight of things like this, because this would be a prime example of one of the big things that you were going to need with that. Obviously, that 5,200 litres is heavy. That sort of is going to equalize the weight-ish of the front. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, that was it really. It was just, I drew the line and I thought no more, I'm not going to do that. By all means, have a look at a modder how they did it. There's nothing wrong at all in doing that, of observing and learning from your betters. There's no better way in any kind of school than that. And oh no, that's not what I want to do. It's that I want to switch on. So obviously Mantrid is a very, very good modder, as in are all of the others. I've looked at a few modders' work, obviously, and I'm being open about it. Again, there's a bit of a stigma about it, and yet most modders will look at other modders' work, but some of them won't admit it. I'm just being open about it, but I'm also being open about it that anybody who's watched the channel for any length of time knows I don't like cheating, but I can make mistakes. I did, and again, I am allowed to. But I still I felt bad, and I thought that's conscience. So leave it alone and don't do it. I'll spit it out. On the Mantrid bit, I made an identical piece myself out of bits of metal, but I've obviously, do I let out my secrets? Well, if a modder ever wished to, yeah, it's in the loading program from the Matrix. Neo got basically lots of guns. Now, as a modder, I've done lots of shortcuts, and again, this is to any budding modder yourself. So what I've done is I've created a set of shapes that are like square, that I've got all of the colours already on, so I can just grab the shape and it's got textures, and it's mostly chrome metal shapes, but with different sort of things, cubes and thin pipes, but basically most of the shapes, including, I think the last one I did was a pyramid, which you'd be surprised that you can use it quite frequently to make sort of strange shapes. And I've done that so that I can whiz them into any mod and grab tanks and and I can duplicate and make lots of things, and it's not going to take me forever. So yeah, it's like Neo. I load them in, I push them into the mod if I want tanks, and then I'll delete what I don't want, which is another trick that Lambo sort of taught me. He does a lot with the whisking mods in and mods out and grabbing bits from mods and pulling it in. So it's obviously something that I watched Lambo do, but I also applied that in a bigger way to shapes that I'd already done, so that I don't have to do them thousands of times individually, that I've actually done it already and they're all ready for me to whisk into any mod. So it does save a lot of time. Also a massive one for templates. I deliberately chose the silo model because I think it's one of the very best for saving space, can be tall. It really is a very good sort of shape. Maybe a bit boring, but I'm more worried about, I'm not one for aesthetics. Anybody who watches the channel knows that perhaps I'm a messy person, but it's more about functionality over aesthetics. That doesn't mean to say I don't appreciate good things. I have done a couple of models that are really quite beautiful. Again, BI Industries, bigger on the inside, does stand for function over form, because we do use reclaimed materials, but it doesn't mean to say that some of the stakeholders at the top don't want other ranges to come out for other people. Yeah, for those who wish to pay a bit more, we will produce some of the nicer models that are really quite pretty, because again, yeah, it can't just please myself. If I'm going to do mods, I don't want them all to be, but for those like myself who start from scratches or appreciate very reasonable prices, then obviously my first set of mods have all been very reasonable because it's all made from reclaimed materials. So that's the premise behind BI Industries, but that doesn't mean to say they can't make brand new as well. Yeah, again, to please other people, it's not just about myself, even though obviously it started off as, it's going to hit that tree. Yeah, it is. even though obviously it started off for myself, I did always intend on releasing the mods for like other people. It's yeah, as I frequently said, a lot of the channel members are PlayStation and Xbox players, so I do appreciate, where possible, all of mine are all friendly to console. I haven't got any horrible scripts or any horrible things that are going to stop you using it. Even there's been a couple of times I've had a couple of textures that it basically says this is no good for console, so I rip it out. I don't want anything that's unfriendly to console. If I did do that, it would be certainly by mistake. But yeah, it does warn you. The testing tool does warn you that that is the case. I think it's not much further. I think, well, we'll have a look. It was, I think, mainly around the outside and that bit at the top, which we did. I think any minute now. I can't see any more pink. Oh, I can see a pink and a white, and yeah, I can actually see it right up to, I think it was about here, because I remember seeing the beetroot canister that I ejected last session. The amount of times, twice I've done that, grab the beetroot. What I don't get though is if you like go and you do lime, how come the next time you go and it's beetroot? I know it'll be me. I'll have clicked a button. I know, really. But it is true. It's oh, okay. One. Oh, there's a bit more here right where I am actually. Yeah, so there's a bit of a patch. One little run down one of these lines that's over here, which I'm sure we'll see. I can see it actually. Yeah, it's this one here. Now, can we try to use the tram lines? Will it allow us without us like missing the weeds? Let's have a go. I do like the idea of this. I'd love to sort of know how to really do this, because in a way it would be fantastic to do this like in Let's Plays, to do it properly, but I don't know how much work it would be. But obviously this is the truth. This is the reality behind real spraying like lines like this. It's this. I think that, let me just have a look while I'm on the line. I think it is this light. It is. Yeah, we are doing it as well. It is. It's the, again, I have said, it is the curse of FS25. It is speed. Yeah, speed is really slow. Yeah, so I was saying about Farm Sim Brisk, and I'm sorry I keep doing that thing where I whip around from one subject to another. Yeah, you could tell he was really annoyed, and obviously you would be, because people are copying his work without his permission, and he won't give permission, and I don't blame him. It's his mods. He's worked hours, hundreds of hours, thousands of hours to make maps. I said this on his channel earlier that, I mean, I make my mods, I said, but I've got to be honest, it gives me an appreciation for just how much effort goes into a map. It is humongous. To do a map of the caliber that Farm Sim Briscoe does anyway, I was literally driving around his map that he's obviously spent hours doing, and it was stunning, absolutely stunning. I can't wait to have a go on that, because he is one of my favourite British map makers. Definitely, yeah. No, it's the quality of his maps is stunning. Right, so there's a bit ahead of us as well. So let's just carry on. I did the around the edge, didn't I? Oh, why am I like grinding to a halt? I think it's because it's a struggle for this to set off. Once it's under momentum, it's not too bad, but it is lugging quite a heavy amount, really, when you think about it. So where does this start? I can't see actually. I think we're on the right bit though. Yeah, I think it's coming up now, I think. Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's a very, very good modder. I mean, and the detail on that, I'm really looking forward to having a go on that. His map in FS22 was one of those that, I mean, there are a couple of names that I hadn't heard of that he'd done. I think there are older maps that he did, and I've not heard of those particular ones. And I don't think he was releasing them for FS25. Right, let's just fold this up. Yeah, I've got to be honest. Obviously, I was really nicely surprised when we got this, but it is. I mean, well, to be honest, we are where we are due to this little tractor, this humble tractor. Literally, was a one-man army, and it's not a powerhouse. We didn't do it through power. We did it literally humbly and bit by bit, and this is what got us until we got our second tractor. So you can never forget that from humble beginnings has this endeavour stemmed from this little tractor. So although it is true what I'm saying, that it is a bit of a, it's not so good over, it's, yeah, well, like that, it's not very good. It's 95 horsepower. It is really not a powerhouse, but it does go to show, all things considered, its versatility can summon my life. What's happening here? I might have to like sneak and go across the pavement because we've obviously got some kind of weirdness going on. It might be better if we just turn traffic off for a second. Yeah, we all like know it's a game. Let's be honest. It's like not to traffic off, and then we'll switch it on as soon as we've got past it. In fact, we can switch it on straight away because, to be honest, it'll take them a while to get into such a mess again. Definitely. Oh, right, yeah. So you could tell he was really peeved, and I can't fault him. As he said, he's not going to give permission for his mods to go out, and I don't blame him at all. You wouldn't. He works hours over that for love, really, and yeah, it's not for the gain. And it is true. What I agree totally with what he said. Farm Simulator to me is all about the modders. It really is. It's Giants. They do a foundation, a base, and they're very, very staid. Very, very staid. And I've said this before. They don't like going out on a limb. There's only a few times I remember in all of the game I've played since FS19 that I ever remember Giants surprising me by something they'd done. One time was in the Alpine map where you got the beautiful field at the back of the sawmill, which was very, very reasonably priced. Now we can actually lower that now. That will probably help us. The other thing I was thinking what I could do is almost like a trolley where I do put narrows on these and we literally travel across the field with them, because I don't have to stick to the model. I can build tanks like I have done with my tanker. So, I mean, obviously just because at the minute I've done it from a Hardy, I really don't need to do that at all. I can do all of that without that particular structure, and then I'm sort of free of that thing, and I can put wheels on it and all sorts of things go for narrows. So that is, why am I putting the fender away? But it is definitely true. So we're doing very, very well. 299,368. It is time for us to go through till the morning. Let's have a look at that as well to make sure. I think I did it. Yeah, we'll miss one little patch there and a little. Oh wow, I never saw that. It wasn't that easy to see, but all things considered, I think I'm quite happy with that. Really, obviously there's a one patch where I was doing a lot of damage with the. It wasn't worth it. I really ripped the middle of the field. I thought, just leave it. I suppose I could have actually done it with liquid fertilizer. Could have gone back and actually done that. That was not. Yeah, let's just get this bit of grass off. It's annoying me. Yeah. Oh, and there's a patch of something over there as well. Yeah, something over there. I think we've got rid of most of it now. Yeah, it's the only thing with obviously what I've done with this being what it is, a building which is really a production with a building added on. That's but I do like the size that I've done. I always, when I sort of first started to play on, I loved it. I fell in love with the building. It's gorgeous, but I recognise it was too small, so now it's bigger. It's still need to do something about. Oh, I don't suppose we need to do anything about that step. I suppose we do for this though. Really, yeah. It's no good. We can't actually access anything if we. Yeah. The other thing is obviously it's not going to level to that point. You really need to like do a bit of a like level like that, and then you can do a level from that point, like along like that, and then yeah, it doesn't see that step really as anything real in a way. Yeah, we'll do it all the way along, I think, because it is, the veranda's really usable, I think. We'll just do a little tiny bit of a lip, and then we'll soften it very slightly, I think. Have we gone out enough? I don't think we're. This is one thing I was saying. Oh, no, I was on level. Why did it do that? Yeah, you need to come out a little bit further than you actually think. Oh, and it's soil. To soften, because otherwise you lose the edge. And you like, yeah, it goes quite bad. Oh, I'm going to have to like paint it as well, aren't I? So then you go really small soften and like just blend it in sort of thing without losing too much of that. You sort of almost like a little ramp, almost. And then we definitely need to paint it, because I am not having like, we're not dragging into that. Yeah, this is the one I like, concrete pebbles. Well, it's my favourite at the minute. I really do like this one a lot. I mean, there are other fancier ones that I like, but what I mean is as a base, like obviously asphalt is one of the most common ones. So that's, yeah, it's still, you can see how big the step is because it's still a bit of a, but we can get up there fairly easily. So let's go through till the morning and we'll see how well we do. And also, I think our chickens are really coming into their own, and we could soon want to be looking for like cows. So we've got their adults, soon to be adults, and the other two are quite a way off. So right, let's go through to the morning. When is our barley going to be ready? Soon, I think, if I remember rightly. I think what we'd like to do is, or I'd like to do, is to get us through to that, if I'm being totally truthful, which I'm trying to be totally truthful. It is true, even with the best endeavours in the world, the best intentions in the world. Oh wow, we sold 200 chickens, so 200 get birth. See, that's what I'm saying. They really do sort of pay for themselves. Let's have a look at, yeah, that's still fine. That's not going anywhere. It's not going anything badly. So we've got, oh, that only did 4,480. Now, is that because it ran out of stuff though? Butter, we never did any butter. I think that, yeah, we've done terrible on them all. That's because it ran out of butter, because I took my eye off the prize. Everything else was fine, which also means the flour's ticking up. The eggs didn't go down hardly at all, neither did the honey. So we really need to buy a shed load of butter. Yeah, it's that's done it. I took my eye off the prize. Let's get this done. And we do also need to do something about the long grain rice. I'd need to definitely do something about that. So let's grab, I think, let's grab 10. Fantastic. And we'll push them together and grab them. And so, oh, we still did not too bad though. We've still got 2 full pallets. So again, we would have done a lot better. It's true, but it's still not terrible. Let's do this. And yeah, I suppose this does slow me down a little bit, which is obviously a good thing because it means we're earning cash. But I think what we're going to do is I might actually, no, I can afford the time. I can. It's 8 o'clock. English time. It isn't amazing. It's actually 8 o'clock at night in Great Britain, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning in America, as in like this America, not not literally in America, although it probably is in some parts of America. It probably is exactly that at this precise moment. Yeah, I think there's 12-hour bits where you're 12 hours away, so we'll grab 6. Fantastic, and then we'll grab the last 4. Oh, it's having a bit of a wobble. Yeah, I definitely need to do some. Again, it sort of teaches me when I come in and where the holes are in the game, where there's nothing been made that does this. And I did my grapes and oils because I thought they went well together. Oh, okay. Do that like that then. Yeah, and again, I'm going to do that where I find a hole that nobody's sort of done anything. I'm going to make a few productions. The straw one's my favourite. It's not as big an earner as the luxury desserts as you'd imagine, because cakes are an expensive commodity, even like in the base game. And we've obviously based ours on fancy cakes, so of course they're going to be expensive. But the straw is as cheap as chips, as we know, and obviously I'm basing a thing on that, but mainly because we did have a few. There was one that I loved in FS22 that was a straw one that I really did like, and it was on one of the European maps, and I loved it. Can't remember who the model was. Yeah, it's Thursday. All my words are disappearing. Right, so then, are we gonna? Let's have a look at the sales. I don't want to be missing out on the sales. We could be really getting some decent. Oh, we have another spray. Oh, we have the Case Steiger by Caesarius. We have. Is that the same one? I think it is. It's 3 meter. So then, we are going to do 2 things, and we're gonna grab this and sell it. And we're going to buy the Steiger for ourselves, without a shadow of a doubt. We also do need to get a telehandler for down at the store. I've sort of flown by the seat of my pants, you could say, a little bit. Enter vehicle. Yeah, well, I can't believe the equipment we've got, though, really. So, really, all things considered, what we really need to do, in fact, yeah, if we're going to do this, let's grab the... We can't quite afford it, can we? Okay, let's lend. We're going to buy a telehandler for the shop, so this is not for me. It really is for the store. So we're going to add some money. 150,000. It's 140,000. 149,000. And then obviously there's the bits and bobs for it. So let's grab that now. I'm going to go for my... I'm going to buy the Merlot. Yeah, I chose the Schaefer last time. And this is my one of choice for FS25, because it's also got the backlink for doing tractor type things where you sell the tractor type stuff. So it really is quite useful. I'm going to go for exactly. Yeah, this one with the tension belts is. I've got the Mack Trucker one. I like the fact it's a solid. But this is definitely with my favourites at the minute with the what's the Black Shoe Modding got? It doesn't say it does, so I would have thought no. Fantastic, yeah, I really do like that. Let's get that, and we'll stick that on follow, and we will give us borrow a bit of cash. We're not going to be so 137,000. So we need to borrow about 40 odd thou. It just says to me I know we can afford it sort of soon, but no, we want finances and borrow. I think that's enough. Right, let's grab that. It's all right, my wife was ringing me, and I always... So we don't want any of that. We don't want any of that. We just want that. And it's a stationary baler. Please tell me it can be dragged. I never thought about that. I think it can. I don't think it's stationary in so much as it just means it gets plonked down in the farmyard. So I'm hoping it does anyway. So I think we'll follow the Rotney. And we're going to go round the right way this time, not the wrong way. Oh, why did you let go? Well, I definitely waited until it was like... Oh. Okay, in that case we shall do all ourselves then. It could be that the Rotney might follow this. I don't know why I've not seen it stop like that before. Perhaps the Rotney is one of those vehicles that's not got... there were a few vehicles in FS22 that were not quite capable of following. Yeah, this one is. So there you go. It's just that. Yeah, not many, but there were a few, definitely. So if we go the right way round this time, we shall avoid... massive shout out to Adam for actually pointing out the obvious. Obvious to everybody but me, of course. Yeah. We could... No, we're not sneaking across there. We're going to go the right way. So we need to stop. and we need to... I'd say that was a stop. Really. So we'll get these two things. So I'll get the debt paid. I'll buy that beautiful Cesareus modding. Oh, Joyce is blocked, so she's hit a lamppost or something. Yeah, we've lost Joyce. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but we've lost her, definitely. Right, the barrel is what we're aiming for. Right, let's go grab Joyce. Oh, well, she's abandoned ship, so let's go and grab the Rodney. Don't know what happened there. Oh, I do. We had an altercation. An altercation with the van, who is not budging. We'll just scrape the side of the van. I can't wait to get used in that 11 meter. It's a bit of a beaut, definitely. Yeah, so we'll grab the Cesareus modding. Another beautiful thing from FS25. Yeah, Cesareus was one of my, again, very much like myself in so much as his price structure was very, very reasonable, reasonably priced older models that are ideal for start from scratches and the farmers that haven't got a lot of cash. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, if you want to start from scratch, the one thing you don't have a lot of is money at the beginning. And sometimes, to be honest, it's a bit... I've always said that. It's the most... You're scratching in the dirt a lot of the time with start from scratch, trying to battle on. But I think it's the most challenging, which therefore means it's the most reward. Can I not indicate? It's not indicating. Are there any indicators? I can't see any, actually. Fantastic. Let's repay that bit of a loan, and then let's buy the beautiful Cesareus modding. No, I should rephrase that. We're not buying Cesareus modding. We're buying Cesareus modding's work. I don't think Cesareus would appreciate being bought, really. But yeah, that's not really what I meant. But so, well, we got another one of those, but I think we'll say no. Yeah, I'm not going to buy everything, but that. We definitely will, and we're going to like upgrade it because it is just... I don't care if it's 7,000. That is amazing. Yeah, I didn't know you could do it. Get that one. That is really amazing. I prefer the one with... Yeah, this is obviously a wheeled version. They're narrows, aren't they? I think this is narrows. Do we go? No, I think we'll go standard. A single narrows. I'm sure it is narrows. Oh, we might as well go. Oh wow, yeah, yeah. Let's put everything on it. Yes, definitely. And front extra lights, yes. Show decal, yeah. Beautiful. 52,557. Even at full price, it really would definitely be worth it. I think it's only 70 odd, 80 odd thousand. So it is amazing for that. We have now got a big beast that we're going to run over, and I think. Yeah, I think we will. I'm not going to let's grab the biggie, because this would be ideal for that. You see, now we have got something that can both do the seeding, and it has got narrows. I'm sure these are narrows, even though it says standard. Well, we shall see. We need to repair this too, but we can do that over at the farm. So yeah, we can still go this way. We just shouldn't go down the first one. Obviously, I was going to the shop, and listening to Adam, really, that was a no-no. Yeah, I should not have gone down there. It's this one. I would think this is the one we are allowed to go down. Yeah, I think Adam is definitely right. So this is the down, and that's the up. And I have yet to see a car disobey that kind of rule, so I definitely think we are right. I don't think we ought to sneak down there with this giant beast on the back, really. I don't know that they would appreciate that. It is nice to have this, though. Yeah, I was a bit surprised that we didn't have the Dalbos when we sort of came in, but obviously it's under all what's under license, although this is classed as still the Dalbo, so Giants wouldn't call it a Dalbo if they weren't allowed to, so it still must be under license. Obviously they were going to release it, or has it been modded by someone else, but it still would be classed as a lizard if it wasn't under license. So let's get this repaired, and we'll take a look at how the yeah, true, we need to do them both. Repair, yes, wow, that's cheap. And repair, yes, fantastic. Let's have a look at the colour of, yeah, we've still got 278,538 after buying the beautiful tractor. Right, so let's have a look at the colour of our crops, because I'd imagine it's probably next month, which means it should be dark green. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's dark green enough, but then some of the crops go very quickly. So then we've done that. Let's go through. I think, let's just check. I think the animals are okay for one more month. But yeah, I do want to make sure we don't have been missing. So we've got butter, we have eggs plenty, flour plenty, honey plenty, peas and spinach and green beans absolutely plenty, so we're doing well, and we'll go through till tomorrow. Pig food is also creeping up. Eggs will really very, very soon be going through the roof. Yeah, they really will, because obviously we've seen that obviously each month another set-ish is becoming like adults, and obviously the 100 we used to have is now like, I think 400. I think we shall have a look in the morning. One of them's just given birth again. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Right, okay, we shall have a look at that in a minute. So how much have we got? 10 tons of that, 13 tons of that, and 11. So another 3 lots of those, which is fantastic. And animals are now adults, 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 adults. And they are very close. Yeah, 2 more months and we'll have 500, well, 493 to be precise, 493 layers. So that is amazing. So I think we're going to leave it here, and next month we'll go through till the, we'll look at the sales. Oh, it's ready. We've looked at the sales. We saw that beautiful fence. Wow, that is amazing price. We're going to have that. So that's going to be a second big tractor. That is 61% off. That we cannot say no to. I've got to be honest, I'm getting an awful lot of fence on nearly all the Let's Plays. It's lovely because it is my favourite manufacturer. So that is just an absolute bargain. And it's 415 horsepower. Oh, wow. Just for the extra. We'll keep it at that speed. Yeah, I'm quite happy for it to be. It says 40 mile an hour no matter what. 60 odd grand just for 10 kilometres an hour, miles an hour. We'll have it at that. That's definitely brilliant. I did hope we'd have a header for ours, so we're going to have to lease it, but we're going to lease it on the edge of the field because it looks like this next session we're going to be a bit busy. Now, having done this quite a few times, I even know the right way to face. Now that I don't know that, yeah, I need to see where the red's going. Otherwise, yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, that should do the header exactly facing the right way. So why am I keep going in that look? So we want to be leasing. I would say now that yeah, that is a point. What is the horsepower of our harvester? It's big, but it's not that big. It's it's not a starter harvester, but it is not, and we can't really afford it now. 312 horsepower. It really is I think a 12 to or 13 we might get away with. So do we sort of like go down the store and do a bit of a test right now? Save the game, and we're going to see. This is like a bit of a crafty to see if it could get away with a 13.7. Oh, why am I saving it twice? So we need to reset the store deliveries right now and pop down. And everything that you see now is not happening. This is just literally a test for us to yeah, because we need to repair it too. So we're going to buy can you? No, you have to. It's this. Oh, it won't let me do it, will it? I can't place it. It won't let me place that tool, that beautiful thing that we've actually found, which I really do love. That this here. Yeah, I thought so. Land is not owned by you, so we can't do it. Well, I think we'll still be able to manage to do this, even if it's slightly damaged, just to sort of see. So let's grab a 13.7 meter header and see if we could cope with it. Oh, have we not got a 13.7 then? It's a John Deere. Will the case thank me for that? That is a good question. I'm not sure. Wow, that's true. We've got the beautiful Titan packs that we can really do any colour. So yeah, I think we'll do. Oh, they're 16 meters, though, aren't they? On Dynaflex, Fent, 12s. I think the 12s are what we're going to go for. No, I don't think it can cope with that massive monster. I know these are dearer, but yeah, let's have a look and lease one of these. This is for a test. If this works, we will actually, obviously, send that one back. This is just literally a test, so it's really not happening. Yeah, I'm not cheating. I'm just, obviously you could in real life. I keep saying this, and it is true. You could ask the store, could this possibly manage it? And they would know the specifications to know yes it can or no it can't. So, but we don't know that. So I'm just gonna do, if you switch that on and go down, and you can go forwards, which you are doing very nicely. So let's try a bigger header. Yeah, because obviously none of this is really happening. I'd just like to see, can it cope with a... yeah, let's try one of the 16s that is the... with the built-in thing, I think. Its headers are attached. I want the realistic, so the Titan header. We do want transport wheels. Oh no, well we don't really, because this is a test. So we're going to like lease it, because none of this is happening. I'm not going to save the game again. Well, it would not be the first time that I've actually done that, but yeah, it's sort of typical. Right, let's have a look. Can we cope with this? Wow, yeah. It's not even slow. Wow, now that really just shocked me in a nice way. Just goes to show how well Case make their harvesters. So yeah, we'll leave that there, and we'll get one delivered right down the... Do we buy one? These are very reasonable, to be honest, the Titans, with the built-in drapers as well. It's a real bonus. I think we might actually treat ourselves to one of those at 70 odd grand. No, we will, because we've got we could actually sell the vegetables, so I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey, and I'm going to say goodbye for now.